Okay, so today I'm going to come to you and do some suspension stuff in relation to the C4 Corvette rear end, especially around camber and toe. We'll start with the camber because that's nice and easy. The rear bar down here is for your camber adjustment. And I already have my camber bolt all the way inboard, meaning I'm running the least amount of camber I possibly can. I turn that bolt this way, it pushes that arm out, giving the wheel even more camber. And that's about 3 degrees. In New Zealand, our LVTA spec says, our low volume spec that is, says a half a degree over factory or maximum of 1.5 degrees. So I'm 1.5 degrees out, and I can't use any more adjustment on that bottom rod. So I have to adjust something, or I'm going to have to lift the truck. Personally, I like the truck at this height. Sorry, Christmas lights are starting to go up. I like the truck at that height. The front is going to come up just a little bit in the front there but I like that height on the wheels. So our solution is some adjustable rear arms. Got some 3/4 inch heim joints or rod ends, whatever you want to call them, stainless on Teflon, with a 5/8 inch shank for the bolt. What we're going to do, we got some nominal 15 bore 120 gauge steam pipe. So there's no joint in that, it's a solid piece. It's not, it doesn't have a split running down it that's effectively welded, so it's not going to crack. So what we're going to do is drill that out, 17 mils, tap it out to 3/4 inch, insert these, one here, one there, one there, one there. Voila, we have 2 adjustable rear arms, which will allow me to get the correct amount of camber. There's always a solution. You just got to think outside the square sometimes. Right, second issue is with toe. And I'm just trying to adjust that. There we go, without blinding everybody. Whatever, stay there then. That's my rear bar, and I literally can just get my finger into that gap between the chassis rail, and as you can see, that bar is actually bent and that rod joint is twisted to buggery already. Now that would have happened when I loaded up the deck when we moved house 2 years ago. I mean, I probably had 500 kilos worth of shit sitting in this, so that would have just been pushing on here and bending that. But obviously that's not safe. Now, there is a solution. I'm going to try and squeeze in here even more. So, the factory C4 Corvette has a brace up here. And these mount in the middle, per se, of the top nut to the bottom 2 nuts there. Bolts, sorry. Top bolt to the bottom 2 bolts. And they maintain the same angle for the drive shaft. So as you go over bumps, this bar here, although I can't see now, basically goes up and down, and you keep the correct angle of the tyre throughout the momentum of the truck. You simply can't take that nut or that tie rod and turn it around and stick it up, because you're then going to adjust the angle of one of them in relation to the other. So they're going to be turning on different circles, and you'll end up with something called bump steer, which I can't explain it fully, but that's what happens. You've got 2 different arcs going at 2 different times. Well, Flat Out also sell, and I would recommend if you're getting one of their kits, they sell a kit that basically replaces all of this under here. And it bolts on, and this big bracket here mounts down here now. And sorry, the bracket is right down here. So it drops it 2 inches almost in relation to where it is now, and by dropping that bar 2 inches down that end, when you drop it 2 inches on this end, your bar now maintains the same angle in relation to the drive shaft. So as the wheels go up and down, you don't get the bump steer. So yes, I've had to order myself a set of those, but like I said, it is what it is. If you are running a lowered truck and you want to keep it lowered on C4 suspension, you will have to do something with this bar, otherwise you will break it and you'll have no steering control whatsoever as you want to suddenly shoot left or right. If you're running it raised in the rear, which will also fix the camber issue, you're probably not going to have that issue because you're going to have to raise it about 2 inches to get the right camber. And 2 inches up here is going to give you plenty of clearance, but make your truck look bloody ugly. So yeah, anyway, a couple of issues which we're addressing in the back of this thing. Just thought I'd show them because I have the afternoon off.